What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna talk about some of the habits that I have in my life that have helped me become, I think, moderately successful, at least help me achieve and reach my goals that I had in my early 20s. And now at 32, I'm able to own a home in Vancouver, have pretty much complete flexibility in terms of when I work and where I work, and make a good income. Am I making millions of dollars per year? No, but over the past 5 years or so, I've really been able to increase my income. Our business has hit seven figures every single one of those years. And so, we've gotten to the point where I'm happy, I'm enjoying life, I get to spend time with my family, and things are just good. So I'm gonna talk about some of the habits that I have kind of implemented in my life in this video. Some of them are just concepts, and some of them are things that I actually physically do. So this is 7 habits for a 7-figure business. So let's jump right into it. And as always, guys, you can join the free school, link in the description. We just hit 4,000 members and we've got some free training coming up. So make sure you join the free school. Okay, so habit number 1. Habit number 1 is becoming an expert in a niche. You guys have heard me talk about this before, but this is really a game changer that is the reason, I would say, is responsible for why we were able to hit 7 figures in lead sales in, I think it was 2020, the first year we hit that. It might have been 2021 when we had our first full year in the lead gen space. But focusing on one niche and becoming an expert at it just differentiates you from everybody. A lot of marketing businesses out there, they tend to just, offer all services to everybody. Hey, I'll make a website for you. I'll do social media for you. I'll work with a realtor. I'll work with a bakery. They'll kind of do everything. And it's really tough to differentiate yourself when you're doing that. But if you can focus on being an expert at one thing, like we did with Timeshare Exit when we started out, helping people get out of timeshares, we were able to hit $100,000 per month in lead sales for a couple of years in a row. We even had a month of profit at $99,000 in profit. We had some of our best years ever because we just focused on being expert in one kind of obscure niche, and we were able to become the guys that everyone went to. We had so many people emailing us asking for leads, and so focusing on one niche can really just change the game. We were able to sell that website, not for anything too crazy, but several $100,000, which propelled us into our next businesses that we started in the lead gen space. So focusing on one thing and becoming an expert at it, I would say for me has been just huge. And what I like to do is go into a niche and focus on it for 3 to 6 months at least before I do anything else. And so we don't go into, like, people always ask, like, how many niches are you in? It's like, I'm not really in that many. I'm just focusing on becoming an expert in one, because if you can become an expert in one niche, it can make you, you could make $100,000 plus from one single niche if you become the expert. If you go into insurance and solar and roofing and baking, well, baking's funny, then it's going to be a lot harder to hit 100K in 4 niches in total than just hitting 100K in one niche. So become the best of the best. And when you go into a niche, there's going to be trials. The first few months are going to be hard. This is not like, I'm not some guy I don't guarantee anything when you join our school. Like I'm just not going to do that because I can't guarantee your success. But if you go into a niche, one that you preferably have some experience in or some interest in or some sort of maybe little advantage, you're going to have to focus on it for a while and become an expert, because the world has gotten more and more competitive, especially online in the past several years, obviously since the big pandemic that we had. And so if you want to be the best of the best, focus on a niche and commit to it. Commit to it. Even when things get hard, even when there's trials, you're going to have to cross the chasm, and there's going to be a kind of turning point that you'll hit after several months where you start to really see things happening. You're generating quality leads and people are coming to you for leads. It takes a bit, but when you get there, it's worth it. So focus on one thing at a time, one niche. Habit, or I guess concept or value number 2 is the 80-20 rule. So this is something I focus on in our business. Ryan B and I, which is my business partner, by the way, are really focused on this rule just as we go about our weekly tasks. So for us, it's important that anything that we're working on personally needs to be moving the needle in our business. We don't like to focus on busy work. We like to focus on deep work that can really get the job done. Shout out to Cal Newport, by the way. Make sure you read the book Deep Work. It's definitely one of my pillars of business. That's a little bonus tip. Go read Cal Newport or listen to his podcast if you're more into that. That guy really helped me change my life. My planner that's right in front of me right now is created by Cal Newport. So focusing on 80-20, focusing on the tasks that are the most important. And if you have tasks that aren't important, like bookkeeping and stuff, batch them and crush them as fast as possible so you can get the big tasks done. That's why on Mondays, I focus on filming these videos, because this is the most important thing for Leadbase, is that I film this content for you guys. I film 3 to 6 videos every Monday, depending on how ahead of video filming and depending on how tired I am and if my baby slept the night before. But I focus on these tasks and crush them. And I don't book anything on Mondays so that I can do this. So 80-20 rule applies when you're when you're trying to grow a business. Don't sweat the small stuff. Like a lot of people come into the school and they're like, hey guys, is my website good? Like, should I launch yet? And it's like, yeah, your website's fine. When it comes to lead gen, we just care about, can we generate leads? Do we have a good funnel? Your website, sure, it doesn't really matter. Or are my creatives good enough? Go launch them and try them. Go launch things. Focus on, crushing the big items, the big rocks, Patrick Lencioni, as fast as you can, or efficiently and obviously with quality, but we want to focus on the big things that move the needle. And if you're not familiar with the 80-20 rule, it's essentially that 80% of our time is spent on 20% of the results, and 20% of our time is spent on 80% of the results. So if we can just figure out what that 20% is, the time that's actually used to produce all those results, and focus more on that, that's how we can be successful. Because we tend to work on all this busy work and stuff that doesn't matter, and then we maybe have one day a week where we focus on really what matters. But I like to plan my weeks out so that I can actually focus on the big tasks that are going to move my business forward. And that brings me to number 3, which is I plan my weeks, not my days. And so this is a concept from Jesse Itzer that I heard. I think that's his name. He runs the company. He runs a couple different companies, but the big one is 29029, which is where you hike a local mountain as many times as it takes to hike Everest, which is on my bucket list of things that I want to do. One of my clients is actually doing it this year, which I'm very jealous of. They do it in Whistler here in BC. So it's this huge challenge. He runs this event company. It's like $5,000 if you want to do this. He plans his weeks, not his days. And so I've kind of adopted this concept somewhat recently, and it's been a huge game changer, thus me filming on Mondays. So instead of thinking of, okay, today I got to get these tasks done, or each day this week I'm going to do this thing, I like to focus on, today is my filming day. Again, I don't book any meetings. Tuesday is more of my meeting days. I have my team meetings. I have the Q&A group call in Leadbase Pro where you guys can ask me questions. Link in the description. So I have all my meetings on Tuesdays. I focus on our lead gen business on Wednesdays. So making sure that our actual business is running, because we do run a lead gen business. This isn't just something we did in the past. We're selling leads actively every single month, and we still hit 100K at least every single month. So that's my focus on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I usually will either visit one of my buddies who owns a business, and we kind of go over things in the morning and keep each other accountable. And then I'll do some more filming on Thursday afternoon if I need to. And then Friday, I have a couple meetings, and then it's usually a big picture day where I meet with Ryan B. We rent out an office space, and we'll kind of go over the big plans for Leadbase and our lead gen brands and our clients and stuff like that. So I like to look at my week like that in my planner, in my deep work planner, put down, maybe there's 10 things I want to get done this week, and I can apply them then to each day, and I can plan days out, but I like to at least have a picture of what my week looks like. And I like to protect certain days for certain things, because a lot of times that busy work will come in and just push those big ideas to the next week and to the next week. And so it's important that you look at the big rocks, again, the big rocks first. And again, I mentioned this guy, Patrick Lencioni. He has a lot of different books on kind of organizational strategy. And he talks about focus on the big rocks, and the sand will kind of fall into place behind those big rocks afterwards. So plan your weeks, not your days. Concept number 4 is try new things and don't be afraid to fail. So I guess these aren't exactly habits. There's going to be some habits coming up. These are, again, kind of more concepts, but I think you need to be actionable on them in your life. And so for me, I like to attempt new things in business. If an opportunity comes across our desk, obviously Ryan B and I will kind of analyze that, but we aren't afraid to jump into something and try and put out like a minimum viable product or a minimum viable funnel, or just run a test on something to see if it's going to work. We don't hesitate as much as we used to, and we just try things out. For example, I actually just imported a Japanese domestic vehicle from Japan over here. It's a camper, and I'm going to be trying out renting it out, because we've always wanted an RV. So I'm like, okay, let's obviously take this RV out with our family, but I'm going to start a little rental business on the side. And I was kind of humming and hawing about this for a while, but I was like, let's just do it. Let's just send it. So I looked for a camper, I imported it. And so I kind of identified this potential opportunity where, people are renting Sprinter vans and stuff like that. You guys might know this about me at all, but I love like road tripping and camping and stuff like that. People are renting out converted Sprinter vans, and they're like flooded the market, but no one's renting out super unique RVs. And so I was like, hey, I got this idea. I did some research. I'm just going to go for it. And I went for it. And I spent a decent amount of money to get it here. And I'm not saying go spend a bunch of money, but when you see an opportunity, do some research, test. Obviously, you need to make educated decisions, but I tend to just be like, let's test this out. Maybe my example of bringing an RV in isn't the best one, because I had to actually spend quite a bit of money to do that. But in the business, it's like, go test some ads. Don't be scared to fail. Go set up your site. Go reach out to clients. If they fire you, who cares? Go test things. If you need to bootstrap and you don't have any cash, go bootstrap. Spend your own time, grind it out, send emails, test ads, and don't be, if you fail, then you learn something. And that's really important for lead gen. We need to learn, we need to get, generate data so that we can learn from it. So don't be afraid to fail and test things. That's number 4. Number 5, it's an actual habit this time, guys. I don't get up every morning and dunk my head in ice water like that one guy does. And this isn't some hopefully guru sounding thing. It's just something simple that I do every morning. I get up usually around, hopefully 5:30. It's more likely 6 or 6:30 when I wake up, depending again on how my kids slept the night before. I get up and I get outside and I go for a walk. And you may have heard like Andrew Huberman and all these guys talk about this lots, about optimizing your life and all this stuff. And that's all good. But for me, I get outside with my dog and I just like to go for like a 2K walk. That's 1.3 miles for you Americans. And just think about the day and process. Because I find if I sit down at work without thinking about my day or just jump right into things, I tend to have so much going on in my mind. So I like to go for a walk, kind of meditate a little bit. I don't wear any headphones. I don't listen to anything. And it's just a time to be silent that I think is really helpful. I can spend that time praying, again, just thinking and processing. And that for me is huge. And then I like to come back and just journal quickly and just write whatever I'm thinking, even if it's just a paragraph. I like to spend time doing that. I like to spend time in prayer, reading the Bible. If you didn't know that about me, I'm a Christian, and that's something that is important to me. So I do that every single morning before I start my day. And that just helps me start my day right. So I can go into, I go to breakfast with my family. I have breakfast with them every day, kind of make them breakfast and then come down here to work around 8 a.m. And it just helps me start my day right. And that to me that's just important as somebody who in the past struggled a lot with anxiety and just thoughts swirling in my mind. This personally just helps me decompress, get all my thoughts, kind of process them. And then I can go to work just ready to crush it and ready to work. So habit number 5 is just get up, get outside, get some fresh air, take the doggo out, go for a quick walk. The exercise is great too. I love getting my steps in, 10,000 steps a day. I guess that's a bonus tip. Get 10,000 steps a day. It'll change your life. So that's number 5. Number 6 is fitness. And for me, fitness is really important. I tend to kind of fluctuate in my fitness journey over time. And I played college football for a little bit. And so always was working out then, and then stopped working out, got injured, and really got sedentary at one point in my life. And so now fitness is just something that I really try and keep very habitual and very important in my life. So I don't overdo it. And I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or anything. But the thing that I do focus on throughout my week is working out at least 3 times a week, getting 10,000 steps a day, doing a lot of mobility training, and I also count my calories. I personally like counting calories because it's just kind of a daily challenge and a daily game where I get to focus on eating healthy. It makes me feel really good. It gives me more energy. And I use like my Ninja Creamy and make like awesome protein ice cream and stuff like that. And I just feel so much better when I'm eating healthy. And I kind of go through cutting and bulking phases and just, work out and try and gain some muscle and stay active as possible as I get older because I want to hang out with my kids. So fitness, again, is very important to me. I've got a home gym. And just again, not working out 7 days a week, not trying to get huge, but maintaining just strength in general, I think is so important for our minds as we run a business. And so even if you're not working out, you're not active, just again, start going for walks and getting outside. I think it is so huge if you just get outside. And if you just did some functional training, like for me, I focus on squats, push-ups, and pull-ups and rows. Those are really the 4 things. If I just did those, I would be completely satisfied with that. That's just going to keep your body so much stronger, keep your posture so much better. These are small things, but they make a huge difference. So for me, that's number 6. Number 7, these are kind of random. They're not really in any order, is to hire and delegate. This is something I struggled with for several years of running a business and just really doing this right. And it's really become a focus over the past year here at Leadbase. And over the past, I guess really more like 2 or 3 years, is hiring and delegating tasks to people who are better at them and also who can focus on the things that are maybe not in that 20% of the deep, big tasks, the big rocks that I want to focus on. So we've hired salespeople, VAs, community managers. We just hired a community manager named Karu. Her name's Carla in there, but her nickname is Karu. So you can go say hi to her in Leadbase Free, our Leadbase Pro, and just wanted her to be in there to kind of help hold you guys accountable, check in on people, and just help people as much as we can. So hiring and delegating, I think, is very important. And you can hire people, VAs, for a lot more, affordable than hiring in the US or Canada. And so that's what we did. We have people from all over South America and Africa as well who are working with us remotely. And I think our team is super sweet. We hire for people who fit well with our team, who are just excited to be there and kind of share our values. And so hiring and delegating is really important. I think if you want to grow your business, it's not something you need to do right away. I think you should kind of push yourself to really grind when you're starting out. But once you can afford to hire somebody, it can really help you focus again on those big picture items. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed 7 Habits of a 7-Figure Business Owner. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and so I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see, hear more about, I guess, my life and the stuff I do, maybe a daily vlog or something like that, comment below. If we get 50 likes on this video and a couple comments about that, maybe I'll do it. I don't know how those things work. People always say, like, if this gets 100,000 likes, I'll do this thing. We're just looking for 50. But yeah, if you guys want to see more about kind of my habits and my life as a business owner, I'd be happy to do something around that. But appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to join the Leadbase free school. We just hit 4,000 members in there, and we just released a new way for you guys to get access to content. So we don't only have one course in Leadbase free anymore. We actually have 3 courses, and you can access them by gaining levels in Skool. So you gain levels in Skool by engaging with the community and getting people to like your stuff. And so getting to level 2 will actually give you access to our lead gen brand from zero course, where you can watch me actually build a lead gen brand from scratch and get a client and actually make money and make a profit and show you the entire breakdown of everything. So that is now in Leadbase free. That was only accessible to pro members for a long time, and now we're giving that to free. And then we also have our cold email masterclass for level 3, and then we have a one-on-one call with me at level 4. So if you join the Leadbase free, you can get access to all this stuff just by engaging with the community. It's like, it was something we were charging money for before, and now it's accessible to you guys and free. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below, give this video a like, subscribe, please. We're on the road to 10K subscribers, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.